Hi, Janelle King again. We just finished the Draw Forth the Book Inside of You session. That was the live Google Hangout on January 4th, still today. And there were so many questions that I didn't get to answer. I want to make sure I hit everybody's questions. So this one is it comes from Linda, and she says, I haven't got a burning question, but it would be helpful to learn about royalties, as the books and articles I've published have been written for organizations without royalty agreements, and it would also be useful to learn about US publishers as well. So I can tell you that I am a self-published author. So my experience with US publishers is extremely limited, but I can tell you why I chose self-publishing over traditional publishing, and I can talk about royalties associated with that process. Okay, so let's move to the paper. All right. In my world, self-publishing ended up winning out over publishing. Can't spell and talk at the same P-L-I-S-H-I-N-G. Okay, so self-publishing ended up being the clear winner over traditional publishing because of a couple of reasons. And honestly, there are two people that I spoke to when I was considering what to do about my book, because normally you would put together a book proposal and shop it out, and I was in the process of starting to flesh that out, and I contacted a former client and friend of mine, or we've become friends over the years, and she is the executive editor for a publisher an author that I respect tremendously. So I contacted her and I said, hey, M, I'll just call her M for short, I have this book and I'm wondering how I should proceed, because some people say that, oh, traditional publishers, they don't do anything for you, but on the other hand, there's stuff that they bring to the table. So I sent her my proposal. I sent her, she had asked me, who are some other authors that are kind of comparable to where I saw myself positioned, topic-wise. And so I sent her that information. And she sent me this great response back. And she's like, honestly, I think that you would be happier as an author and more successful as an author if you self-published. Because if you look at the two examples that you sent me, one of them did traditional publishing, one of them did self-publishing. The person who did traditional publishing, even though their book is only a few years old, because of the kind of niche or the niche that you focus on, or with visual thinking and visual communication, that book, the mainstream publisher already is considering out of print. They're basically discontinuing printing it, even though it's just a few years old. Whereas the person who chose to self-publish is still active and shows up on Amazon just fine. So think about, do you want someone to dictate whether or not you are still in print, or do you want to be able to control that for yourself? Because what publishers bring to the table, compared to several years ago with the advent of self-publishing, what they bring to the table nowadays is significantly different. So that was my editor friend who works in the industry, and that was her advice to me. So I thought, okay, well, let me talk to a friend of mine who is an author who has published through multiple publishers. She's got several books out in a completely different industry from my own, and she's published with specialty presses and specialty publishers and big gun publishers as well. So I went and had cocoa with her and told her, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Should I shop my book to publishers, or should I publish it myself? And she said, oh, publish it yourself. Oh my goodness, publish it yourself. You have so much more control over everything about your book when you publish it yourself. Plus, you get to keep more of the royalties. because the publisher, in a traditional publishing arrangement, would keep a portion of the royalties, and you would get a percentage of that. So two people I respect very much advising me to pursue self-publishing, so I started to investigate that. And when I go into the self-publishing world, there's a book that I thought was fantastic. If you have not read this book yet, get it. It's called Ape, and it's Guy Kawasaki. Yeah. This book taught me everything that I know about self-publishing. It's a fantastic resource and a really easy read. A stands for author, P stands for publisher, and E stands for entrepreneur, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's that P portion that we're talking about here. And for self-publishing, the main goal is you want to be able to sell on Amazon, right? You want your book sales to register. People can order it online, and it'll get shipped to where they are. They get your book. They're really happy. Yay, it's the book. We're really happy. In order to do this, there are a couple of different platforms you can use. Here's what I ended up doing. I ended up, well, first, no, let me start here. So I knew I was going to work with CreateSpace, and I knew I was going to work with something called Ingram Spark. I hope I'm spelling this right, because my spelling is not the best right now. Okay, so these are both self-publishing platforms. CreateSpace is associated with Amazon, and so you would take a PDF of your completed book and upload it to CreateSpace, and you have to, create an account and, register the book, etc., etc. CreateSpace makes it available for sale on Amazon and fulfills the print on demand. So when this person orders your book, CreateSpace fulfills it, sends, Amazon processes it and, sends it over, and every month CreateSpace and Amazon sends you royalties. And the royalties I'm not going to get into specifics on, because when you go to CreateSpace, you'll be able to set for yourself the level of royalty you want to receive from the book based on price, based on discount you want to give to the publisher. There are a couple of different factors in there. But you can go in and you can say, if my price is going to be $9.95 and these are the terms of the purchase, then this is the type of royalty that I can expect to receive. And you can manipulate those numbers so that it hits a place that you would like. So CreateSpace fulfills Amazon, but it doesn't get you into bookstores, right? That's where Ingram Spark comes into play. Ingram Spark is a subsidiary of a group called Lightning Source, and they are the ones that put you into the registry of books that libraries and bookstores can order. So a shop can say, hey, we're going to pick up these books. That order goes to Ingram Spark. They send it to the shop, who carries your awesome book. Yay! Person sees it, they pick it up. It doesn't show up as a sale on Amazon rankings, but Ingram Spark will also have its own process for paying out royalties. Now, a piece that I had to create to work with these was my own publishing imprint. So there are publishers out there, right? If you get a book from Baracola, or if you get a book from Penguin, or traditional publishers, I needed to be able to have a publisher or a publishing imprint to work with Ingram Spark. So I created my own, and basically created an imprint as a subsidiary of my own business. And it's Papumiho Press. So Papamiho Press represents me on Ingram Spark, so they can, make and fulfill sales for shops who might be interested in the book. Create Space, not really necessary. You can have Create Space be the publisher for your book, but I like the idea of having complete control over my own stuff and complete ownership over my own stuff, or as complete as I can get it, which is why I kept my imprint for Create Space as well. So in Create Space's eyes and Ingram Spark, this book is coming from here. And they are only serving as distribution channels. They track the royalties and they send them to me every month. It's a really simple process, even though my drawing looks a little crazy. So anyway, that's what I can tell you about royalties and the US publishers. I hope it's helpful, and if you've got more questions, you know where to find me. You can always email me at janelle@janelleking.com, or you can send me a tweet, because I love me some Twitter, at Janelle King. Okay, thanks, Linda, for the question. We'll see you soon. Bye.